Here we are on this lovely, lovely Tuesday morning. So we wake up. GTA 6 has a trailer just sitting there for trailer 2. And yeah, I, I I mean I can't really say it's just like a random Tuesday because they did just delay the game. I guess they kind of do need to get the second trailer out there to just let people know, hey, this thing isn't in development hell, but this thing is actually coming out. You aren't gonna have to wait 3 years, hopefully. Saloon, you haven't seen this trailer yet. How are you feeling, my friend?
I think it's really good for obviously with them announcing that they got the delay, just giving the fans something.
Yeah,
Like I think people are fairly well aware by now that it's definitely you that are of the two of us that is much, much, much more excited to jump into this because it's a genre that if we're being really honest, I know open world games are a dime a dozen, but there's not ones like this. It's kind of like the thing
no,
of like how as much as I like to rib Elder Scrolls and Bethesda and stuff, they make very certain RPGs,
yeah,
and that's also another one that is kind of like people yearning for them types of experiences.
yeah,
So it's good that they at least gave something because they could have just been like, yes, delayed, and then saved nothing until what Game Awards, and people would be like grumbling under their breath, but it wouldn't be something that would break the internet, and then they just drop this. What was it, 3 hours ago, and it's already like 16 million views.
that's insane, dude. Insane.
This, and that's what I was like hammering on about before when we was talking about it. Of just, I don't even think they need a marketing budget. Really, they don't even like they. Do they really need to pay to plaster it everywhere? Like even just this out of nowhere, just dropping a trailer and then that just peaking immediately. It's number three on trending. It's just jumped up another 200,000 views in half a second. Like it's just
Yeah.
if it's always about profit margins and making tons of money, it just doesn't make sense to me to try and market it in the way that people used to market things. You can get free word of mouth so quickly now.
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously, it's never going to hurt to have your trailer in the NBA Finals or in the Super Bowl
Mm-hmm.
or in the World Cup or whatever the case may be. Well, I guess kind of, but yeah, it's never going to hurt to have your more people know about because they got to get back $2 billion on this thing, so they're going to look in every avenue possible. Say, hey, it is what it is. But so you have not watched this, correct?
No, and I've just also realized, hold on, because you're gonna want me to capture the audio, right, of the video?
Yeah, for the trailer.
Yeah, let me
Yeah.
add that because we don't usually have that. I think that should be good.
Okay, cool. Well, dude, so this is your first time reacting to it. I got to be completely transparent. I couldn't control my impulses, man. I had to watch the trailer. So I did watch the trailer. I don't want to come in here and fake like oh, it's my first time react. I have watched this. But what I did was I broke down second by second the little shots I want to go back to and talk about after. So we're just going to watch the trailer in full, real time reaction for Loon, his first time reacting or his first time watching the trailer. And yeah, and then we'll go down and break the trailer bit by bit after we watch it in full. Sound good to you, Loon?
Yep. And obviously,
Cool.
we don't. For the viewers back at home, we have to count in to try and sync it up together because obviously I
Yeah,
can't beam that video over to you. Right. Are you ready to give it a go?
let's get it, man.
All right, three, two, one, let's go.
What you doing up there?
I'm just fixing some leaks.
Seriously, dude, you got some time on your hands. I got some properties with paying tenants.
Oh, that's why you came by?
Just go get me my checks.
See you, Brian.
Jacked.
Love you, Jason. I'm here for Lucia Caminos. She's supposed to be getting out.
What's your name?
Jason Duval.
I think you heard before.
You might have. Hey,
Hey. Hands above your head, now!
you stay. The new beginnings.
You break the news, just a Trust me, this place is just the start for us.
Ring the bell! Shots, baby!
The only thing that matters is who you know and what you got.
Woke. It's woke.
You're doing it right.
Yo, D, this full effect? They got your name, address, they got everything.
Us cops, we gotta protect each other.
Like, brak, brak, brak!
You and me, Lou. We got this.
We got it.
Say Vice City, baby! Vice City, baby!
Come to Fields Ammunition today. We got more guns.
Come to ammunition today.
Hey.
Vin Diesel.
Hey, if you got friends, can you hook me up, please?
All right. Lone.
Captured on PS. Does it say PS5, right?
Yep. And notice, no, it doesn't say anything about it doesn't say anything about PS5 Pro. So base PS5.
Okay. Yes.
So that's
It's
interesting.
Ah, it's a lot more tamer than I would have expected.
Tame.
Yeah, like I'm not saying like it just when you think of like GTA trailers and stuff, it's usually a lot more pulse pounding.
Hmm.
I think it's them heavily leaning into like with how like I think they've slowed down their DNA a lot of how they do their games, like with how Red Dead 2 was a lot slower paced, and that's what I thought GTA 6 might be as well. Obviously, it will have the big, huge action set pieces that you'd expect, but I think they're going for that whole like simulation, as much detail as possible, and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, I mean this trailer is absolutely fucking fantastic. It's a great trailer, don't get me wrong. I do wish and I don't think they do. I could be wrong, but there's really not much gameplay in this at all. And if I'm not mistaken, I don't think they did that for trailer 2 for GTA 5 either. I think they kind of wait and then they start doing they do like the full big gameplay deep dives. I'm looking through trailer 2 for GTA 5 right now. Yeah, there's no gameplay in this either.
Yeah.
So this isn't really anything to be too concerned by. And I think you do see little glimpses of like in engine, well, all of it's, captured on the PS5, but you see things that look like it could be resembling what we're going to get from gameplay. Like the big explosive shit at the end of the trailer. And so it's like we know what the gameplay is going to be. But yeah, this was a fucking excellent trailer. I think it totally captured everything that everything you need captured for a Grand Theft Auto game, I think is captured in this trailer. So you want to break this thing down beat by beat, man?
Yeah, I think one last thing as well. It feels cozy because of the Vice City, the music, the vibe, and stuff like that. It feels like it's it does feel like a return to that area, which is nice. This is set in modern day, right? Though
I
That's what it's
believe
gonna be.
so. Yeah, because the cars and stuff look modern.
Mm.
Yeah, I believe so.
So
So-
where did you want me to go?
Let's go to 23 seconds in, and you'll see the still image of Jason looking fucking jacked. Just absolute. Like, I did not. Whenever you saw Jason in that first trailer, I was thinking kind of, just uh, Florida boy. Like he lived out, in Miami, but like he didn't look jacked. He looks jacked in this trailer. And so I guess if we go forward, um, you also see like, are you doing still images or are you just letting it run?
Is there a way to like? There isn't a way to slow this down, is there? Like, I think like Amazon Prime let you run it back at like 0.5 speed. There is, right?
Yeah, if you go to the
Playback
settings, you'll see
speed.
the
There we
playback
go.
speed. Yeah.
Try that. Yeah, it's a bit better.
So it's interesting because for one, he's huge, but for two, you see at 35 seconds in where he's lifting weights. Or it's about 38 seconds in where he's lifting weights. And my heart starts pounding when I see this because I'm like, oh shit, are we going San Andreas style where that's a mini game again? Or is this just a cutscene, you know?
Mm. Yeah, let me get to 35. You say 35? He's in the car
It's
at 35.
it's about 39 seconds in. You'll see
Oh, there we go.
he's lifting the weights and he's putting up some serious weight there. I think that is, let's see, the plates are 45 pounds, the blue ones, so that's 225. Yeah, that's two blues, so 225. And then so I think he's lifting like 265, 270 for reps.
I
And I
mean, he
mean
is
that's
fucking built.
yeah. I know this is such a superficial thing, but like that's what has me most excited about all of this is he's huge, dude. So like
Mm.
that because that makes me start thinking about gameplay scenarios differently, where he's a tank. He might be able to fuck people up hand to hand and stuff. And you know, yeah, not to with I guess I got you jumping all across the board here, Loon. But if you go to a minute and 50 seconds,
Minute 50?
yeah, it's actually about a minute and 54 and just let that run for all right, let's start at a minute and 51 and
Okay.
let that run for a second.
Yep.
And you're gonna see he throws somebody against a car. I don't know if it got to that part on yours yet.
I'm running it back at like 0.25 just
Okay.
to make sure we're capturing. Yeah, he slams him into the side of the car door.
And so with him being this hulking fucking tank, I'm like, ooh, okay. So are you going to be able to kind of brutalize people in melee with him? And then you also see Lucia in the underground fight
So
club.
it's like a roundhouse kick, right?
Right. And so that makes me think about San Andreas as well. I'm sorry. I'll always gas up San Andreas, but in the boxing gyms in San Andreas, you do your training and you compete in the match. And then once you win the match, you get a new skill that you can
Mm.
use in combat. So it's like, oh, is that going to be how they incorporate the underground fight scene, which is incredibly prominent in Dade County in Miami. I mean, it's some of the biggest fight scenes in the world are down there.
Did that plane scene though?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I
fucking
mean,
crazy.
and then that's the thing was you kind of see right around this time, like uh, all the big action set pieces
Mm.
are going fucking crazy. And you're right, it does seem slower paced in terms of the storytelling between the two of them, Lucia and Jason. But when it gets to that action, it's going, man. Some Fast and Furious vibes there at the end of the trailer. Let's see. Yeah, also really early on in the trailer, I don't know if you noticed, it looks like his hair is a little bit longer. It's throughout this trailer, it looks like he has a lot of different hairstyles and beard styles. So I wonder if that's that Red Dead 2 influence as well, where your hair naturally grows and you got to go and get it shaped up um and all of that throughout the game.
Oh, there's a PlayStation controller in the trailer.
Yeah, so what that's at about
Hmm. It
so
happens quite a few times, but yeah, it's a dual sense thing.
hmm. Yeah, so that's at about 2 minutes and 10 seconds in or so. And you also see the PS5 console near the entertainment center there, near the TV. Um, and I think that when you saw Tsushima or Yote get delayed and it got delayed to October, and then just a few days after that, Grand Theft Auto 6 got delayed.
Hmm.
Or I shouldn't say Yote never had an. So Yote got announced for October, and then a few
Mm.
days after that, GTA 6 got delayed. That's no coincidence. When you're seeing this is captured on a PS5, you're seeing a
Yeah.
PS5 console and a controller. Like they got the marketing rights, I would assume. So I'm assuming that Rockstar, as soon as Sony found out that Rockstar was delaying GTA 6 to next year, that's when they went ahead and announced the date for Yote.
Yeah, they might even not even have the marketing rights. It could just be sitting a thing. It could be a thing where it's just Rockstar. Just they know where the biggest player base for this is because it's not going to be launching PC. So what's the biggest platform? It'll be PlayStation. So you
Yep.
want to make sure that you're appeasing Sony in every way possible and making it as open for their players as it can be with as much information. But yeah, it's a really detailed game. Like that's something that
Oh
we can
yeah.
never knock Rockstar for. Like everything, like you're saying, the weights that they're doing. It would be cool if that is a mini game. Even just walking through the environments that he does,
Yeah.
they just look so crisp. And
Totally.
that was my big worry, I will say, because it was all well and good that they achieved this with Red Dead, but Red Dead is there's so much less going on in Red Dead. You have
Yep.
like towns that are made of wood and stuff, but then you have like complete landscapes of just emptiness. And you can
Yep.
kind of get away with it. So it's good to see that they still, you know, there's a reason this game has taken this long
Yep.
because it shows in the trailer. It's just painstaking detail in every scene.
And yeah, and there like you said, there's a reason that the anticipation is the way that it is. You don't get games like this every day or every year or even every decade, unfortunately. And it's just so much more demanding on a technical front than a Red Dead 2 or any big open world, where like you said, it's a lot of plains of nothingness. Like there's always something going on in these city-based sandboxes. Um at 50 around let's go to 48 seconds in or so. I So in the trailer, it alludes to Jason going to pick Lucia up from prison.
Hmm.
And this is interesting to me because like I I was wondering were they going to have some breakout, prison break kind of thing? And also this alludes to the fact that they probably did something together that wound her up getting incarcerated. And so I don't know. There's just an extra beat of story detail there that I don't know, kind of paints an interesting backstory. Because I was wondering, would that be like the first thing we see in the game? But now I'm assuming that's probably middle of the game, or I don't know if that's necessarily going to be something really early on, unless you do a mission with them together early on. It ends up getting her locked up, and
Yeah,
then you play as Jason solo for,
that
a,
could be.
yeah.
That could be the thing as well. What we also need to keep in mind: this will have an online component at some point.
Hmm.
So there are things that obviously they added in GTA 5 that didn't really get fully utilized in the main story. They were kind of backdrop things, and then they utilized them in the online. So it could just literally be they could have just built this prison for the solo players. Just you pick her up, something as simple as that, and then save it for the online thing. But I do think it would make sense that if because they did confirm that there's more than one playable character, right?
I believe so. I think you can play as Jason or Lucia.
So that
Yeah.
would make sense that if you're going to start it off potentially with her and then get locked up and then switch it to him, that would be a very good transition.
Right. Yeah. Because that's what I'm thinking is like, how do you spread this out in terms of gameplay? How are we going to be, yeah, which character are we going to be mainly playing as, or is it going to be fully swapped between either of them at any time? But that kind of wouldn't make a ton of sense in my opinion, how you can with, Trevor, Michael, and Franklin. Um, because you're going to think that these characters are going to be together quite a bit. And Like, are they going to just be, I don't know, swapping between them instantly? I don't know if narratively that would make a whole lot of sense. But
To be fair though, with GTA 5, they didn't let you do that from the beginning. They introduced them slowly, right? And it was
yeah,
only to about, I don't know, you're talking about halfway through the game is when you had the full freedom to just switch between them at any time. But then even when you had that option, there were times in GTA 5 where you couldn't switch
yeah,
because
no, yeah,
something
you're
had
locked in.
happened, a narrative beat had happened, and it's like, okay, you can't switch to Trevor right now for whatever reason, or you can't switch to Michael and stuff like that. So I think that's probably how they'll handle it to make it
Yeah,
feel a little bit more organic. And obviously, when you've beaten the game, I'm sure you can just switch between them whenever you want.
that would make
Um,
sense. Yeah,
but yeah, it's the thing of like I'm trying to temper my expectations kind of thing. It's why I've tried not to not let my hype fall out of control
yeah,
because
it,
this because at the same time as well in my head in my internal conflict I'm just expecting this to just be the big thing. Does that make like it's not a thing of like the hype is that it's just they have such pedigree. It's just an expectation rather than a hope. I know
yeah.
that's probably bad to be like that, but it's just like a thing. I can't see them really screwing it up at all.
No, yeah, and that's the thing, you had so many people worried about with the leadership changes and the like I get that, but and also, I made the joke earlier where you see Lucia with some suggestive shots in the trailer, and I made the joke about woke, and it's like, dude, that was one of the big you heard all the time. I think GTA 6 is gonna go woke. It's like, dude, it's for one, they always are critical of they're critical of everything. Both aisles get criticized, but like to think that there's not going to be hot chicks running around, to think you're not going to be doing some absolutely batshit crazy stuff that is totally morally just bankrupt. You're crazy. Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be batshit insane. And to that, I wonder, specifically just staying with that prison scene for a second. Well, no, never mind. That's a stupid thought. I was gonna say I wonder if it's gonna be a situation like Mafia 2 where time advances or something like that, but I don't think she's probably like 30 or something, so she would have had to have went to prison at 18 and there'd be that long gap. Like I doubt something
I
like
don't
that's
think
gonna
there would.
happen.
I don't think there would be a time lapse like that. It was a thing. Oh my god, why does this do this? There we go. Um, yeah, I think it's a very hard thing to pull off that time lapse thing,
Hmm.
and I think the best way that you can do it is during the middle of the game. The way they did, I don't think you'd be able to do that at the very beginning. That's kind of a thing that you build into, and it fit in Mafia's world because it pushed the time period forward.
Yeah.
So unless, but this is the thing, like you said, she's a young character. Because what I was thinking, the only way you'd get away with that is if they were older, and say that you
Exactly.
put it all the way back to the original Vice City, and then doing something,
Damn.
and then booting it forward. Then that would have been like, holy shit. But I don't. Yeah, I don't. I don't think that. I think that's a bit too ambitious,
Yeah.
even for Rockstar. Um. So yeah.
That would be so sick though. Like getting to play 80s Miami and then I don't know. So, there could be, I mean it's not gonna happen, but that would be super fucking sick. Just getting even a 30-minute stretch where you get to play in the 80s and then it goes to modern day, that'd be so fucking filthy. That end section, let's go to 2 minutes and 20 seconds in or so. Even just like 2 minutes 15, something in that range.
Hmm.
That whole end section just looks so fun, man. It looks so damn fun. Where you're seeing, the helicopter chasing down the boat, you're on the jet skis, people are partying out in the back, like little things, the little subtle details. This is shit that you just don't see in other games. You got people with the floaties, like the fucking penguin floaties, people sitting on the floaties, people on top of the yachts partying, just the little attention to detail things like you talked about. that's the that's the fucking the formula that you know people are always waiting for with these Rockstar games. I love that shot of them jumping into the 18 wheeler with the car
Mm.
in the 18 wheeler, some real Fast and Furious shit.
Yeah, you know
Yeah,
that there's
man.
because I said with the plane scene as well. You know that there's going to be big ass set pieces in this game. There always has been in GTA games to some degree, especially when you think back to 5. There was moments in that game that were unfathomable to think back to, and when you were on the 360, you was like, "Holy shit, they achieved this!" Like, damn.
Yeah.
So the only thing that like leaves me questioning is, wasn't it leaked that there were multiple locations, or was that debunked?
I think that was debunked. I remember Michael
Okay.
Pachter said something about it, like there was going to be London, this, that, and the other. I don't think that's going to be the case. It looks like this is straight up just Miami. Um,
Because I didn't know
but
if it would be
you know,
like, I
maybe that's
thought
an
it
online
was,
thing.
I didn't know if it was going to be like San Andreas as well, or is this
I mean,
just,
that'd be
it
so
just
sick.
appears to be for, but it's the type of thing, like, games have changed over the years, right? It is
Mhm.
fully within the realms of possibility that that could be something that they add in later.
Online, yeah.
Because if they see, that's the thing. I really wish they'd explore single player stuff as well. Because if you look at this and it's going to sell like hotcakes, even if you recouped like 20% of that, which it wouldn't even be that low, it'd be much higher, I would imagine. Like, any extra location you could just bolt on and you could even sell it. You know, like with the episodes from Liberty City, stuff like that, where they had like kind of separate standalone games, but you could just, you're in the age of where you can just bolt something on down the line. It'd be really cool to have
Yeah,
like extra locations added, and I'm sure
I
people would
agree,
be
dude.
happily pay for it.
Oh, I definitely would. I mean, if it's some like blood and wine style shit,
Mm,
fuck yeah. If it's a full on, 10, 15 hour single player thing, absolutely. Um, this shot here at 228,
228.
yeah, if you go to that, you're gonna see there's a scene where Jason kind of comes flying around the corner and jumps into the back of Lucia's car. And I'm so curious about this. Like, is this going to be, I'm sure it's probably not,
Oh,
but
like
that,
sleeping dogs.
yeah, exactly. Where you can slide across the fucking hood and kind of jump from car to car. Like, I mean, I don't know if it'll necessarily be that crazy because, like you said, the pace,
They already
it
have it though,
feels,
in some degree. In Red Dead 2, you're able to jump from side to side.
yeah,
So that there is the bone concept in place. So you can do that to some degree. It's just the thing of like, I don't. That's a lot more complex to do it with a car than it is a
yeah,
horse. Because with a horse, it's like, okay, yeah, you're actually on it, and you would be able to jump off it, and that makes it feel a lot natural. You know, you only have a certain amount of buttons on a controller,
hmm,
so
yeah. But even like just some on rail shit wherever because it looked like they were pulling a home invasion or something right there. And even if it's just a scenario where you jump out the window and this is real in gameplay, you run and you can jump into the back seat of the car as Lucia's got the getaway car kind of, revved up, ready to go. And like she starts taking off and you got to run and catch up, even if it's super on rails, like Tomb Raider Legends, 007, Everything or Nothing, those motorcycle sections. Like, I don't know, just things that can make it feel like that big action movie. Those big moments feel so nice, even if they are pretty restrictive.
yeah. And I think as well, it was good of them to say captured on PS5, because that kind of puts it to bed as well. As to, there would be a lot of people worried and saying, "Oh, I have to go out and buy a Pro to play GTA 6 and stuff because it's going to be like." I'd never. I don't know if you were in that boat. If you were worried about the optimization or stuff like that. But this isn't like the definitive edition. This is the main team. This isn't a side, like, they know what they're doing. And
Mhm.
the thing is, with them, they will just lock it to 30 if they can't figure something out. Which I think, is it 30 or 60? Do we know yet?
We don't know yet. We don't. I'm
Okay.
assuming 30.
Because that's what I'm saying. Like, if they would obviously want to hit it at 60 because it's a bigger selling point to them, but it's most likely on the base PS5 it will probably be locked at 30, along with the Series X locked at 30, and it, you'll play it and you'll enjoy it. It's a third person.
Yeah.
You don't really need it. That's also a thing. I wonder if they will actually add first person to this like they did with GTA 5.
Well, you do see if you go, if you go and look.
See,
okay, technically
this
at
is
the-
beautiful. This is the first time you've ever you've done what I usually do. I welcome it.
So
Nerd
at
out, brother.
34 at 34 seconds, you'll see him driving in first person. So I'm assuming that's pretty much a concrete confirmation that yeah, you'll be able to do all your first person antics if you want at launch. Hopefully at launch. I don't really care. I'm gonna play it in third person, but I know a lot of people like to play these in first person.
Yeah, I see it.
I do also have one more second drop that I want to look at here. I wrote it down, I believe. Okay, yeah, if you go to, it's actually just before this. If you go to like 32 seconds, or maybe a little bit before 32. So yeah, like 30 seconds in or so, you're gonna see him go in to collect some money. And you heard his boss say, "Go and collect my checks" at the beginning of the trailer. And I wonder if that's what he's doing there, where he's going and taking the money out of the register, or if that is just straight up like, okay, yeah, you can go in and rob convenience stores. But the boss said, "Go and collect my checks." So I wonder if that's some Godfather PS2, Xbox 360. If that's because remember back in that game, you would go in and rough up the shopkeepers and fuck up their shops and intimidate them to get more money.
Yeah, it kind of baffled me that they did that in Godfather. You can obviously rob stores in GTA 5 and like hold them up, but it was very two-dimensional. Like you're talking about how the Godfather and even Godfather 2 had like a whole mini game built around it where you beat the shit out of the shopkeeper. You had to get it within a certain parameter so that you'd get more of a payout. Each shopkeeper had like what was important to them and stuff like that, whether or not they responded to being threatened or you destroying their stock and stuff like that. I don't know if they would go that hard. It's the thing, like the sky's the limit for them.
Yeah.
Like it would be really, really cool to see that.
Totally. Yeah, I mean, listen, dude, I'm rewatching the trailer again as we're sitting here talking, and it's like I could go comb through this frame by frame and have something to say about everything. Um, yeah, I'm so down. I mean, the wait is real though, where we're waiting. We still got more than 365 days to go before this thing is in our hands, and it's probably going to be delayed again, I would assume. So I don't know, maybe not. Hopefully not. Um, but yeah, dude, I'm pumped for it. Pumped for it. Absolutely, absolutely pumped for it. Cannot wait until we actually see gameplay because then we can really get in here and nerd out because that's the thing I'm the most curious about. We know production value is going to be off the charts, and you see it here. Production value is off the charts. It's cool to see this in this detail, though, for kind of the cinematic reveal because it feels like a Grand Theft Auto game. I don't know if you get that feeling, but this is the first time I've saw the game, and I'm like, yep, this is a Grand Theft Auto game. Yeah, like the first trailer was just so ethereal. It was so like concept feeling. This feels like okay, here is the game.
Yeah, this feels a lot more grounded, I think is what it is. It feels like you said, it feels real, tangible. You can look at the models and be like, yeah, that's in game. Like,
Yeah.
that's just a cutscene and stuff like that. Instead of being panning shots and stuff like that, or locations, and it's just like, okay, yeah, well that looks really cool, but like, can we see it like running in real time, like properly?
Totally.
And that's what they've achieved with this. So that's awesome.
Yeah, and you said something earlier about it feeling kind of cozy, and I do agree with that. Like you see shots in there where he's like kicked back on the couch, and she comes in and she like lays down on him, and there's like I don't know, it just feels like a believable characters in a believable world, and I don't know, I'm pumped to see more on it, but my expectations are. I'm not saying in check. My expectations are through the roof for any Rockstar game. They're going to be through the roof. But I will say that until we see gameplay, until I can actually look at that, that's going to be the real determining factor of, is this going to be the next evolution of video games, or is this just going to be another Rockstar game?
Have they ever done like a complete uncut gameplay, like slice?
Not, I don't think uncut, but they did like 15 minutes for Red Dead 2. Um, so they do some pretty in-depth gameplay trailers.
Okay. How close usually to launch are they doing them? Like a few months or?
Good question. Okay, it was actually more like 6 minutes, so it's quite a bit shorter than I thought. But it was, oh wow, wow, very, very close. So gameplay, the gameplay trailer dropped on August of 2018, and it came out in October of 2018. So a couple months.
And I'm gonna be 100% honest. I think that's probably gonna be a 1-to-1 copy as to what they'll do here.
That is interesting. Wow.
So when we
I
see
didn't.
that really big chunk, it's like, okay, we're 1 or 2 months out, but there's no way it gets delayed at that point because when they're showing that level of a gameplay segment as well, it is basically done. So
Yeah. Dude, I'm really hopeful that they take some of that Red Dead 2 shit from like the takedown system and all of that. And I'm hoping with that underground fighting, that's kind of what you'll be in there. You'll learn some new takedowns, some clinches, some different I just because we've been locked into it's either, everybody's gonna clone Arkham or everybody's gonna clone your soul style. Like for melee combat, there's really not a lot of variety. Like you're gonna get one or the two. For a third person game with melee, you're gonna get the remnants of Arkham or you're gonna get the remnants of Souls. Obviously, this would lean more Arkham than Souls, but like it's there's not a lot of like there hasn't been somebody to come on and challenge those two kind of baselines, unless I'm forgetting something. You get like action games and shit like that, but you know what I'm saying. In terms of like the typical format you're gonna get, you're either gonna be dodge rolling a lot or you're gonna be pressing triangle to counter a lot.
yep. And I do hope that them gameplay mechanics get fleshed out a little bit more. Because that's the thing, like this is why when you speak so highly of Sleeping Dogs and stuff like that is because it's the mini games, man. It's the mini games and the systems that make that game what it is. Like don't get me wrong,
Yep.
the story's interesting, the world's cool and stuff like that, but it's them little moments that will add up and make that experience so unique. So
Totally. Yeah, and it just like it'd be so sick because in a world like this, there's so much more room for flexibility in terms of combat. Oh, damn, here's a car. When you see Jason throw the dude up against the car, now I'm going to go to the trunk. I'm going to pull something out of the trunk. Each trunk has something different, like Sleeping Dogs did. I got a wrench, I got a 2x4, I got a gun, like whatever it may be. Throwing people through windshields. Like there's just a lot of shit you can do. All the different environments are going to have, oh, here's we're at this bar and now I'm going to sling you across the countertop of the bar, shattering all the glass on the bar. I'm going to throw you up against the TV, grab the TV off of the mantle, smack you over the head with like you can get so crazy and silly Yakuza like with it. You don't want to go that far, obviously, but like you can go as you can do some pretty silly shit and it still be realistic. We're in Florida. Florida has some wild shit taking place every fucking day.
absolutely.
Well, guys, that is our Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer 2 breakdown reaction. All of that. Obviously, we're still waiting on that gameplay. When we get the gameplay, we'll dive deep into that as well. But that's a pretty deep dive into a 2-minute trailer. We turned a 2-minute trailer into a 30-minute reaction. So we appreciate y'all so much for tuning in. Check out Loon's channel. It'll be linked down in the description below. Loon, do you have any parting words for the good people?
No. Enjoy the wait, I guess. I'm gonna toss out a little prediction. It feels like there will be one more delay. I will say. I feel when they turn around and was like May, it was like that doesn't feel like a GTA release, like a modern GTA release date. That doesn't feel right. What that feels like is you've put that placeholder there to then conveniently be like, and we're delaying it to the holiday period.
Yeah.
That's what that feels like.
I do not doubt it one bit, my friend. I unfortunately do not. It would be a great summer game though.
Hmm.
Roaming around Vice City in the summer in Miami. Yeah, that'd be sick. But
The only
October,
the only way that makes sense. Sorry to cut in there. The only way that makes sense is to them drop it in May. Is to then have the online drop for the holiday period as like a 1-2 punch. So we beat the shit out of the first half of the year, and then we KO the second half of the year. So they basically dominate that entire year in its entirety and don't let anybody have anything.
that would be brutal.
Yep.
That would be literally hell on earth for these other publishers. But Take-Two does not fuck around. Them motherfuckers are absolutely yeah, they are brutal business people over there. The first company to charge $70 for a game. Will they be the first company to charge $100 for a game? We shall see. And yeah, we'll see you. Hopefully May 26th, GTA 6, but possibly October. We wouldn't be surprised. Let the anticipation, I was going to say begin, but I guess continue would be more fitting there.
Yep.
So-
Let it continue to build and flow
Yeah.
over. Get more cups. There you go.
We need all the cups to fill the GTA 6 anticipation bucket, but until we get something new, yeah, we'll see you guys. Hopefully we get a new trailer soon. I doubt it. I think that's going to be all we get for a while, but here's hoping we're wrong. But we'll do a reaction to that one when we get it, and we shall see you very, very soon. Subscribe if you're new and you like the content, and like the content if you like the content, and we shall see you in the future. Goodbye.
See you later.